Gorgeous, gorgeous girls read for knowledge and pleasure. Gorgeous, gorgeous girls are iconic. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and I hope your 2022 is going well so far. Mine has a little bit of mixed emotions. I've got really good intentions for this year, but I've struggled to get into it. So I thought we could make this video today because even though this is going up and it's like a week into January already, you can start this whenever. To me, in my opinion, January is like a running start. Also, the lighting will change in here. I apologize. I physically cannot control the sun. Although my control issues make me want to be able to do that because I hate a lack of control. It makes me freak out. I didn't realize I was in therapy today. Also, I have my blazer on and I have my hair in a claw clip because today we're getting serious. So today we're going to be chatting about habits that I'm going to be bringing into 2022 with me. These are things that I've used previously but need an upgrade, or things that I'm doing that are new to me. So yeah, kind of giving you guys some knowledge while also sharing with you guys what I want to change in 2022. So personally for me, if I was to label how my 2022 is going to go and what I want it to be, is that I want to be that girl in 2022. In my personal opinion, we are all that girl. My idea of that girl is me, but at my highest self. I want to be my best self, and I know my best self is that girl, the main character. Each one of us have that in us. We are all the main character of our story, and I think it's just a case that we need to tap into that, and that is always what I want to strive towards. Feel I could be doing better for myself, and it's not that I need to change myself or that, you know, I don't like how I look. It's more the fact that I know I can do better than this and I can treat myself better than this. I think more than anything, procrastinating all of that is me just holding myself back. So it is time to change. But on a general consensus, I just want at the end of this year, in 12 months time, to look at myself and go, yeah, I am treating myself the best I can be. I am my best self right now to me and other people, and work-wise I am thriving. Just feel strong, powerful, capable, that kind of thing. So in order to do all of that and to get myself to a place where I am my best self, I've got things I've got to do daily, sometimes weekly, to just make sure that I do not let self-sabotage and self-doubt take over, and then in 12 months time I'm sitting there going, I once again let fear and doubt control my life. We're not letting that happen anymore. We're in control of it. Fear, self-doubt, sabotage, all of it. Got to go. Got to go out the window. We're cleansing this air. There is no more living in fear of success and fear of your best self. I still haven't even gotten into my first points, but I just wanted to put that out there that this is what I'm leaving behind the most this year. It's the fear, self-sabotage mindset that I'm not allowing to come into my life. That girl is a mindset, and then the fear, self-sabotage mindset is another one. So it's a case of you deciding which one you want to live this year. And it's a case of that we need to recognize the fear one and say, hey, get out of here. Right now, I'm that girl. We're all going to be like Pinterest queens by the end of this year. So my first main point, it's kind of general, but it's to create more structure and routine. Yeah, my necklace is shining loads right now. Hold on, I'm just going to tuck her in. I have always tried the morning night routines. I've tried kind of pretty much everything. I've just never had one that truly sticks. So this year I kind of want to nail down a morning and night routine that I feel works for me personally daily, that I feel comfortable doing, I feel excited about, and I look forward to. I don't think there's any point in me sitting here and telling you this is exactly what you need to do in the morning, because no one's mornings are the same, but there's things that I want to do that get me started in the morning feeling well and help me to fall asleep better at night and get me excited to wake up the next morning. For example, I woke up this morning and the first thing I did was go on my phone, and I automatically had this feeling of dread and anxiety. I have a lot going on this week and I have a lot of college things due. I woke up and I checked my phone and it was all I could think about. I was scrolling, it was horrible. It was a wreck. And I hate waking up like that. There's just nothing about that that makes me happy or made me start this day any better, and I've continued to feel anxious today because of it. So for me, I'm going to properly sit down and figure out what it is that genuinely works for me on a daily basis and something I can do kind of no matter what. Obviously some mornings change, etc. But in general, I think it is so important for us to wake up in the morning and do something that makes us feel good and something we love, because I can guarantee you will get better work done during the day, you will feel better during the day, and you will just be happier in general. So before I get any further into the video, I want to talk about today's sponsor, which is Lingoda. Lingoda is an online language school that connects students all across the world. You can learn languages like English, French, German, Spanish. Lingoda can host one-on-one lessons, but also in-group learning lessons online on Zoom. How we are taught language in school just never personally worked for me. It is those awkward teen years where you don't particularly feel comfortable standing up in a class of 30 people your age and you have to speak a different language. It's kind of awkward and I always found it unencouraging. It just wasn't great. In fact, there was one time I had a French oral and I ended up speaking Irish in it because I was so panicked and under pressure. With Lingoda, it's honestly completely different. You get to do it from the comfort of your home when it suits you, when you are ready to do it. I go to France so often, and for me, since the pandemic, I've really lost my basic French. The Lingoda Language Sprint is where you are challenged to do either 15 or 30 classes a month for 2 months. And the incredible thing about this is if you attend every single class, you could get 50% or 100% cash back, which is so encouraging. You can now register for the sprint and the closing date is the 1st of February 2022. With my code and my link, you can get €20 off or $25 off, which is an incredible value. I really encourage you guys to sign up with the link below. It's so great learning the basics of a language, especially when you are traveling somewhere for a month or even just for a holiday. It's good to know the basics. And you get your money back. We're students around here. It's always good. Okay, so this next habit for me is something I am bringing in and I am actively doing this year. I'm getting a dead leg. It's a little bit harder because it's more of a mindset thing, but this is quit whining and being so negative. I have these written down in my notes on my phone, and I have written down, in the second half of this year, you were a negative, grumpy. I think you can figure out what word that was. I also wrote, the glass is half full, so stop moaning and whining and seeing the world as if it's against you. Because very much from September on last year, I definitely got in a really negative headspace. And by negative, I mean I was just seeing the negative in everything. I was seeing the world as against me, I was complaining, I was whinging, that kind of attitude. And I think so many of us can easily fall into that headspace at times. I think it's a habit that not much of us talk about. Oh my god, I've actually such a dead leg. I'm getting pins and needles. But that idea of even gossiping about other people, talking about other people, whining about the world, whining about this not working for you. Yes, there are times it is valid to do some of those things, but in general, when you are getting frustrated at pretty much everything quite often, maybe it is time to reflect and go, okay, it's time to start changing my mindset here because it ain't working for me. If you are somebody like me that is trying to manifest their best self and their best life, but you are sitting here also actively every single day going, oh, this isn't working, I'm so fed up with this, that just ain't gonna cut it. It ain't gonna cut it. I consider myself quite a positive person, but when I get into a certain headspace, I can really struggle pulling myself back out of that. So I'm actively not letting myself fall into the boohoo me headspace. And I think that's just a really important one to keep in mind for us all. It's definitely something I think a lot of us might struggle with. I know for a fact, and I'm no angel whatsoever, I know when I was much younger and very unhappy with myself, I was definitely a far more gossipy, frustrated, negative person in life. And I, for many years, have managed to pull myself out of that. Not fully, I'm no angel, nobody is, but in general I came away from that quite a lot. But I just found myself over the last few weeks just struggling a bit, and when I don't like myself, I look at everybody else and I'm like, ugh, you know? So it's a case, again, it always comes back to I have to start loving and caring for myself and being proud and happy and confident within myself, because the negativity ain't cutting it. Next! Oh, I'm actually gonna get something, hold on. So next is reading. This year I'm challenging myself to read 15 books. Last year I was on such a good run with books. From the very start of the year I was reading, and then the end of summer hit and I went back to college. And college was crazy busy last semester, and I definitely was not balancing work and proper good downtime. So I didn't read. Literally didn't read from like September. But I'm now reading 2 books at the moment. So for me, reading is for knowledge as well as pleasure. And here are 2 perfect examples of that. I just finished The Hating Game 2 days ago, and I read this so fast. I started it, struggled over Christmas, couldn't get into anything. Then about 3 days ago, I picked it up again and I was hooked. It took me away from any stresses. I just immersed myself in this book. It is great for downtime. It was great. I wasn't scrolling my phone as much, thank you to this beauty. Then I have A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I have listened to his podcast with Oprah, all of it, and I have just never gotten around to actually physically reading his book. This is like a self-help, self-discovery, that kind of book, but it is pretty much the book of books. Many people will say that. So I have been reading this. I'm usually not someone to read 2 books at a time. One is for pleasure and one is for knowledge. It's pretty easy because these aren't going to get mixed up anytime soon. If you're somebody that reading particularly isn't your thing, I really recommend podcasts or audiobooks, especially self-help. Audiobooks are great because it's just like a really long podcast that you can listen to and come back to. Podcasts are also great. Jay Shetty is my number one, as well as Oprah's. I pretty much listen to them all the time. They give me great knowledge, great insight on my mental well-being and just life in general and my outlooks, so I really appreciate them. Next is Manifest and Meditate. My 2 favorite M's, just kidding, Megan is number 1. I know meditation is not for everybody, but I've put these 2 in the same category because to me, they are just as important as each other. So I have a lot of thoughts. Some negative, some positive. It's a bit chaotic up there, okay? There's a lot happening all the time, and unfortunately for me, I tend to really hook on to thoughts. If I've got one negative thought that just comes flying across my brain, I might grab it, cling on to it, hold on to it for about 5 days and not let it go. That's not a vibe. No, it isn't. So for me, meditation is something that really works. I've always done it on and off. I've never done it consistently. This is the year that changes because gorgeous girls meditate and clear their heads when they're feeling overwhelmed instead of snapping and giving out to somebody they love. You get me? Meditation is just a great way for me to take a breather and take a moment. I always feel lighter after it. Yeah, there's some days where I struggle to concentrate during it, and that's fine. I use the Headspace app. I really love it. They have great sleep time ones as well, which helps me fall asleep. For the manifesting part of things, I also have a manifestation meditation that I use. It is on YouTube. I will link it below. I find it incredible. It's different to my other meditations. When I'm meditating to get out of my head, that is different. But with this, I am meditating and I am visualizing and manifesting what it is that I see myself doing, what it is that I desire. I'm fully thinking about it and immersing myself in that. I think it's an incredible way to aid in manifestation. If you were just journaling, I really recommend doing this because it gets you so strongly visualizing it and feeling it, what that feeling would be if you had that thing that you are looking for. So to manifest, you can meditate, you can journal, you can visually manifest, which I pretty much do every day. Pinterest is my way I visually manifest. So I have my Pinterest boards specifically for manifesting for work. For example, 22 in 22 is my manifestation board for this year. It does help me in manifesting and reminding me of what kind of life I want to live this year. The next habit is self-love, baby. And I'm not just talking about throwing on a face mask. Although throwing on a face mask feels really good, we're talking about a little bit of a deeper thing than that. So what I have written down in my notes is recognize negative self-criticism and bullying thoughts you have about yourself and contradict them. Example, nobody likes you or your videos, and I'm going to be like, no, that's not true, and I love what I do and you cannot talk me out of it. It's recognizing when you're beating yourself up, because nobody is meaner to me than I am. I have never had somebody in my life speak to me the way that I do and treat me the way that I do. And we all do it. and we all fall into that pattern, and we can't stop it either. I'm not talking about that I'll never have a negative thought about myself again. That's not kind of how it works. What I'm talking about is when that negative thought comes along and you start to find yourself fixating on it, you turn around and you go, hey, that just simply isn't true. You are trying to self-sabotage me, you're trying to hurt me, and I'm not gonna let it, because I love what I do and you can't make me feel any other way than that. And you let that go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Basically kill that negative headspace with self-love. You come right back at it with, hey, I absolutely love myself. I love my eyebrows. I love my eyelashes. I love my nails. I love my this. I love my strength. I love my power. It's telling yourself what you're grateful for. It's coming back at that. Legitimately, one thought, one negative thought can make me sit in my bed for 2 days. And that's not an exaggeration. And I cannot keep letting that happen, because it is a thought. That is it. That is all that is. Wipe it away. We have thousands, millions, millions and millions of thoughts, but why am I fixating on that one? So in general, we're doing self-love this year. I created a notes page on my phone, that things that make me feel happy when I'm sad, so that I can go to this. When I find something that makes me happy, I'll write it in, but also when I'm feeling sad. So I'm just gonna really quickly run through it. There's some really funny things on this. So I've got knitting, the Eurovision Song Contest movie, the first 10 minutes of Anchorman 2, reading a book, journaling, Cody and Kelsey's engagement video, a walk, cleaning my room, time off my phone, Pinterest, bottle of iced water, the cinema, Waterstones, coffee and a donut, a workout / treadmill run, chatting to somebody I love, a cool can of Coke, candles, meditating, manifesting, doing my skincare, a good shower and a beach walk. All of those things I wrote down in 2 minutes, and I can guarantee you there's 1,000 more things that make me feel really good that I will continue to write down when they come to mind. But it's having that and that list that I'm able to go, hey, this negative self-talk and negative attitude ain't cutting it anymore. I'm going to do 1 to 5 of these things right now for the next 2 hours, and I can guarantee you by the end of that you will feel a whole lot better. Now very, very lastly, this is one, it's a little bit more specific, but I think we all need to be reminded of it. The only person that can make you feel embarrassment is you. I heard that recently, have no recollection of where I heard that from. It's definitely like a Jay Shetty podcast or something, but in general I think it's one of the truest things I've heard in a really long time. Yes, somebody, a horrible human being, can sit there and go, haha, you fell, haha. That rarely happens, but in general, if that ever does, just, you know, I didn't do anything there, but I did. You saw what I did. But in general, it is so true that if you come home from a night out and you sit in your bed and you go, I'm such an embarrassment, I can't believe I said those things, I'm so embarrassing, I hate myself. Girl, snap out of that. That is not true. I can guarantee you the person you were talking to or the person you were thinking of isn't thinking about that. I can guarantee you they are not thinking about that. And you are at home spiraling so badly because of it, and you got to stop. For me, one of my big things is I work online now. I love you guys, but I work online. So I do social media, all of that kind of stuff. And usually when people bring it up to me in person, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, yeah, I do. Thanks. And somebody said to me recently, they were like, own it. Don't be embarrassed. Own that. You are growing an incredible platform. Why are you cringing at yourself right now? And I was like, I don't know. And it's so true. Why am I worried about people sitting there going, ugh, that's so icky. She makes videos of herself online. So what? We are on a floating rock in the middle of space. I can't even understand that. So why am I sitting here worried about taking pictures in public? It is my job, but it's also something I love to do. If I see somewhere and I'm like, that would be an incredible backdrop, I'd love to get a photograph there, I cannot even tell you the amount of times I have walked past that situation because I've simply been too embarrassed to ask the person I'm with to take a photograph of me, or I'm too embarrassed to stand there and get a photograph taken of me. And that is just so 2021 and I'm not kidding. We are so done with embarrassment. If you want to take a photograph for your Instagram, if you want to take a photograph for you to have in life, go get that photograph. It doesn't have to be your job. Go do it. Who cares if somebody is standing looking at you? I can guarantee if someone's standing there looking, they might be like, oh, she's getting a photograph. Nice. You will never regret stopping and getting that photograph and then looking at it and going, yes, that is so gorgeous, it's so stunning, I'm so proud of it. And then you get to go home and post it later, or you get to keep it and you get to print it. We got to start doing things we love and stop caring if somebody around us or people around us think we're weird for it, because if they do, that's their problem. And I can guarantee you, if they do think that, it might be for 5 seconds and then they're gone. They're not thinking about you anymore, and that is the reality of life. If they are thinking about you, I'm genuinely concerned for them, but you know, it's not your problem. So yes, take the damn picture. Do what makes you happy and don't make any apologies for it. Don't cringe at yourself for it. It's not cringy. You are doing what you love, and if anybody makes you feel that way, it's probably you. You're probably sitting there going, oh, I'm so cringy for this. This is so embarrassing of me. You are saying those things. It's not somebody else, it's you. So stop doing that. Anyway, I've pretty much been rambling for like 40 minutes now, but I'm pretty passionate about most of these things that I've brought up, and the fact that I'm pretty fed up of stopping myself from doing my favorite things in life, and I don't want to be that person anymore, and I don't want to do that. I really hope some of you guys resonate with what I've said, and I really hope you take some of it away. I love you. I hope you have an incredible year. We're gonna have our ups and our downs. You're gonna feel so good this year. I'm sending so much love to you all. I am hoping all your manifestations and dreams come true because I love you.